Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning in Meridian. Thank you for tuning in to this, the two best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. So glad you're tuned in to 102.1 FM or streaming online at WALTmeridian.com. Or if you're joining us on Facebook, hi, hello, good morning. Also, if you just have the app downloaded on your device, then you're tapped into WALT. Thank you for being here. I'm Roger B. Saying hi to Rob Atkinson.
Good morning, folks.
What's the good news this morning?
A little cooler this morning than it was the last 2 mornings.
My dog thought so as she ran into the garage when the door opened this morning. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so a little bit of a cooler start out there this morning. Actually, once that front moved in last night, the wind really was kind of blowing around. I heard a couple of branches fall outside. I was like, okay, all right, this is a little bit stronger wind than I thought we were going to get. So,
I know what I'll be doing this weekend. Leaves the limbs.
Exactly. 57 for a high today, 37 for a low tonight. So much different than the last couple of nights. And looks like by the weekend, oh, yay, Friday night 28, Saturday night 27, and 31 Sunday night. So it's not a good weekend for a big bowl of chili or soup or something like that.
And a bonfire. Get that pyro going.
And then we're back up into the 60s, mid 60s by Christmas. So, ho. That's crazy.
So we turn the air on or the heat on for Christmas? I don't know.
I mean, literally, of course, all these weather apps out there, you can look, 10 days out, and Christmas Day, 65, and then by next Friday, 72.
Okay, we're back in Melikimuka weather in Hawaii. Well, we're glad you are out there, and be careful. It's a little bit, it really wasn't foggy this morning.
Not too bad.
No, it wasn't foggy.
No.
It just looked cool out there. Put a jacket on.
Yeah, got a little light wind out of the north at 9 miles per hour, so kind of cool it down just a bit. So, but yeah, be careful out there. Now, schools should have already wrapped up. I know the junior colleges have, but I think a lot of the area schools are wrapping up. Either they wrapped up yesterday or today. So getting ready for I guess you call it the Christmas break or the holiday break, whatever you want to call it.
So it's they're not going all the way through Friday.
I know, it's weird.
Yeah,
I know Lamar is finishing up today, or they finished up yesterday actually.
Okay,
and I think the instructors are going like a few hours today. But yeah, it's weird how you let's just go a full week. Now we're just going like 2 or 3 days. Like when they start back, it'll be like in the middle of the week or toward the end of the week. So it's just strange.
Well, somehow something changed. I think it was the students years ago. We used to say, "Oh, let's see, we get out of school. When I get out of school, give us a break. We want out of school." Now I think it's the teachers and administrators. We want out of school. Stop. Let's not go to school. Oh, how things have changed.
Big time.
Of course, teachers say, no, it's always been that way. Teachers always like breaks. Right. Anyhow, we're enjoying breakfast this morning. Compliments of the leftover cookie day yesterday at the office here. And you turned around to some good fruitcake cookies or fruitcake cookies there.
Yeah.
And, of course, nothing like the good old store-bought icing cookies, the Christmas tree. I ate a Christmas tree a while ago.
Yeah, those never go wrong.
I know. It's just iced sugar cookies.
Let's see, when I left the building yesterday, obviously people were still just kind of, getting a little bit here. I was like, okay, when I get back today, it's all going to be gone. Nope, it's still on the table. It's still back there on the table. So we still got cookies.
We have a sedentary job and we have lots of food. So if you wonder why people in radio seem to come off a little bit larger when you see them in person, that's why.
The cat is a couple 100 pounds.
No, Rob, it was a cookie.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry.
It was a cookie. But we do have the camera. It's there.
Chunky.
Hey, we're glad you're out there. And, of course, a lot to talk about. Exciting day today because we are going to be visited by, the Deputy Air Ops up at Naval Air Station Meridian, Mr. Chris Toten, I think. Toten, that's what.
T-O-T-E-N?
Yeah, Toten.
Tomato.
Sorry if he's listening now, and I'm assuming that's Chris, right?
Yeah,
could be her. My mother-in-law's name is Chris. So, All right. Well, we'll get it. We're going to sort it out here. We're going to sort it out when Chris Toten.
I know I'm excited about it because we're going to talk about
We're talking.
show.
Basically, that's the good news. Air show coordinator for the upcoming air show, which will not be in 2025. It'll be March of 26. That's right. But, you know,
I've talked to several people. They're excited. I mean, this is exciting news, folks. I
we've
mean,
gone so long without one. We just really do. And I'm glad that Captain Luke Davis at Naval Air Station Meridian understood the same thing and agreed to reach out to the Blues to see if they could keep them scheduled.
they're going to be here.
I like it. I like it.
It's going to be fun.
As long as you don't get one of them viruses from China.
Oh, yeah, those masks really work, don't they? Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wet market, my fanny hurts. Got your wet market right here.
That's good.
Yeah.
So it's just looking forward to it, excited about it. Of course, and again, a lot of people who come out, you think, well, it's an air show up here in the Naval Air Station Meridian. It's miles from everybody. Oh, they come.
Oh, yeah.
You fly them in, they will come.
Absolutely.
So
It'll be fun.
all right. And Rob and I are going to be arm wrestling for, media rides. So demonstration rides. We'll see how that works. I've got a feeling you've got the advantage on me.
Right? Last time we were here, I did one of the flights. So it was fun.
Which plane did you ride on?
Did the Fat Albert, like the cargo plane.
Yeah, that's the C-130 built partly right here in Meridian, Mississippi.
Yeah, there was a bunch of us that got to ride there. So you got to, once the plane got up, there was the little ladder you could climb up and look out of the little bubble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Did they let you hold the American flag out the top or somebody else did that?
No, that's what did that.
So that'd be, it's kind of fun when they're taxing the
Well,
flag.
it was funny to look at the other media members because these were folks all over the state that were on that ride. Of course, Tim Walker, who's used to be at TOK's down at Hattiesburg now, he was on that flight. And of course, there was a couple of us that were just like, oh, yeah. There was a couple of folks, first time they ever been on a flight like that, they were like, I was like, this is fun, go faster.
Now, they used to demonstrate the JTOW takeoff with that airplane. I don't know if they still do that. That's the jet assisted takeoff.
Yeah.
And
I loved it.
Really fire the little rockets that are mounted to the side of it.
They're like, ask that guy to settle down back there. He's making a little too much racket.
Is everybody okay back there? I need a bag.
Well, I'm like, man up, you're gonna be fine.
Come on now.
I'm like bouncing off the walls like a little kid in the candy store, loving every minute of it.
Oh, that's great. Well, I tell you what, anybody who's been anywhere where you see the Blue Angels, it's just it's a demonstration you will never tire of. Or I should say of which you will never tire. Whatever's the proper English. I did take English once. So there you have it. Our number here, by the way, is 601-485-9191, 601-485-9191. Would love to hear from you and see what's on your mind this morning, whether it's anything from local happenings or whether a big $1 billion spending bill in Washington or watching the Republicans navigate this before they even have their majority yet. Well, I guess they do in the House, but overall, it's going to be interesting. So just call in and talk about it if you like. 601-485-9191.
It is interesting about this whole spending bill. Newt Gingrich, of course, former House Speaker, chimed in earlier this morning about, of course, talking about the potential government shutdown. He sent this out this morning. Since President Trump and Republicans should not be afraid of a government shutdown. The next election is 2 years away. We're talking about the midterms. We had 2 shutdowns in 1995 and became the first reelected House GOP majority since 1928. It may take therapy for Schumer and Democrats to learn President Trump is serious about draining the swamp. And right after that, Marjorie Taylor Greene has, yes, I said Marjorie Taylor Greene. She said, "Thank you, Newt Gingrich. I'm all in. The government could shut down all the way until January the 20th. As far as I'm concerned, and we must stand firm with the American people to stop the madness, no matter what, even if we have to elect new leadership." I'm all in. Of course, talking about Speaker Mike Johnson, he's been getting a lot of bad press over the last day or two about this bill. So a lot of pork in it, as usual. $110 billion.
Well, what he needs, and that's what he needs. Let's put it this way: Republicans need what the Democrats do. The Democrats do stick together.
Sure. So, absolutely.
You get a situation like this, you see everybody running for cover in their own political, they got to make a political statement so that their constituency knows that they're against spending and all the rest. But when it comes down to it, there needs to be a unification if the party's going to sustain the power. The Democrats get it. They disagree with each other. As someone said on one of the talk shows, Democrats don't like each other, but they know one thing: keep the power, you stick together.
Yeah, I think three big parts of the legislation, which,
of course, they didn't keep the power, did they?
Yeah, right. Well, let's don't call it legislation. Let's call it for what it is. I think a lot of folks on the right are calling this. It's not a spending bill; it is a taxation bill. Because let's face it, here there are no. It's not a spending bill. None of this is paid for. It's tax bills, is what it boils down to. And a lot of this too is still storm aid for folks affected by those two big hurricanes. The bridge in Baltimore. There's all kind of projects that are tied to this. But I like how someone put it. It's like a beautiful Christmas tree, but there's all the ornaments, and that's all the extra stuff that's being put in this bill. What is it like? How many pages is this thing? Like probably 1,000.
It was about 16 inches worth.
Yeah, exactly.
601-485-9191. Let's go to the phones. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Early on the front porch, coffee in hand and fly swatter in the other. It's too cold for flies.
That's right. I followed this on the Newsmax station yesterday, and for those that aren't fortunate enough to be able to acquire that insight, which I haven't heard much of elsewhere, the previous one, I think, or one of them, called an omnibus bill.
Yeah.
And I think they're calling it Christmas bus bill.
Christmas bus bill.
And some of that hidden stuff, other than the scare of the money, has to do with Congress and senators carving themselves out of the Obamacare, which they're leaving the rest of it subject to. Exemption from prosecution from the January 16th hearing. There's a load of poo-poo that's attached to that money that's big talking. I just wanted to share that. You could probably research it and come up with long lines of stuff.
Well, and there's also another part of this bill too. The spending bill would have blocked RFK Jr. from updating his HHS protocol on vaccine injuries.
That's right.
It's on page 757. The bill amends the previously passed Prevent Pandemic Act. The secretary may not revise the vaccine injury table to include a vaccine for which the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has issued a recommendation for routine use in children or pregnant women until at least one application for such vaccine has been approved. So real sneaky stuff that they're kind of jamming into this thing. So
a load
of it. Exactly.
Thank you for letting me share that.
Absolutely.
Well, I have to ask you this question. I'm trying to get my mind around a government shutdown when we are now within a week from Christmas, when government offices will be closing, people going home, and people are already working, 95% working from home anyway up there. What does the government shutdown look like in December when the government's shut down?
Not doing anything.
My reply would be not even not a creature stirring, not even a mouse or a rat.
Just a little something the reindeer left on the roof, that's all.
Absolutely.
All right. Good call. You two can be part of the show, 601-485-9191. Never thought about that, did you? What do they do to clean up after?
I mean, but that what I just read there, that's like on page 757 of the bill. I mean, just buried in there.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to read these things. You got you got to pass
it, and then you
got to pass them, and then you'll find out what's in it. Yeah. That's the way it works. Nancy told us that years ago, and that's exactly right. All I can say is it better have some money in there for an air show in Meridian in 2026. That's all I can say. 601-485-9191 is our talk line. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Good morning.
Welcome.
Yeah, last time they had the shutdown, they shut them down for like a month or 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And when they finally funded it and they came back, they went back and paid everybody their back wages.
See, that's
for the entire time they were out.
It's okay. So the check doesn't come in the mail that day, but if you wait a month and then the government starts up, all your back pay shows up, everybody's back on track. And yeah.
I mean, what's the point of sitting down if you can turn around and pay everybody anyway?
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Which I don't want to miss their paychecks, but I mean, as we've already found out, there's too many of them getting one anyway.
Yeah.
Well, and then, the person working at home in their pajamas with their hot cocoa, they just won't see that direct deposit that they're used to seeing, and they'll say, "Oh my, we're going to have to put Christmas on a credit card until the government starts up again." Okay, that's the inconvenience right there. That's it. You probably put it on the card anyway.
You got a month off and I get paid.
Yeah.
Can I get that job?
Yeah, this is cool. Government shut down. You stay at home, do nothing, and then get paid for it when it starts back up. Oh, we don't want that to happen there.
That's right.
Well put.
All right, thank you.
Well, you're very welcome, and we'll have some government employees here on the show here shortly, so we can ask them how it affects them, perhaps. What do you think, Rob?
I like it.
Yeah. Well, I know we can't get Penny won't talk. You're right. I could ask her though. I don't know. It won't stop me from asking. You may not ask her, but it won't stop me from asking her. All right. But just a reminder that yes, Penny Randall is going to be here with the Public Affairs Department of the Naval Air Station Meridian. We're going to have. I think we have it on pretty good authority now that the name Chris is for a male person, and he's going to be here to talk to us about the air show. All right.
1,547 pages is how many pages is in that bill.
1,547.
Mm-hmm. Roughly $100 billion in disaster relief, nearly $30 billion in FEMA funding, $10 billion in economic assistance for farmers, adds $2.25 billion to small business disaster loan. Restrictions on outbound investment to China includes 500 pages of healthcare provisions, which we read one of those a second ago. Transparency in charges for key events ticketing, and then transfer of RFK Stadium campus to D.C. First step in luring in commanders to the city in D.C. So that has to be included in there.
We don't want to use RFK Stadium anymore.
Who knows?
Can we just rename what would the new one be? RFK Junior Stadium?
I guess so.
So let me share something with you. When you change the name from Redskins to Commanders, any relevance in that team is pretty much gone. There's there might be a few local people interested, but out there.
Well, it was interesting. It was late yesterday afternoon when the bill was basically being cut off at the knees by Republicans in the House.
Mm-hmm.
The Dow had dropped at that point well over 1,100 points. The NASDAQ was down well over 700. So you could tell the market was kind of taking a bath a little bit yesterday with the news of this potential spending bill. And of course, it ended up, not being passed yesterday. And a lot of people were giving credit to Elon Musk on that because, he was putting out a lot of tweets yesterday about the bill and giving details about what was in the bill. And that obviously got a lot of Republicans kind of stirred up a little bit that maybe had not even read the bill. 1,000 plus pages. I mean, who is going to read all that? So, but that was kind of interesting to see how the market kind of reacted to some of that news late yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, when they the Fed said that they weren't going to have as many rate cuts this next year.
Yeah.
That kind of added to the fuel on the fire as well.
Exactly.
So anyhow, we're certainly glad you're out there and we want you to be part of the show. You can do that by calling 601-485-9191. This show brought to you in part by good sponsors. I mean, great sponsors. We love these sponsors. Like
Barber and Sons Plumbing.
there you
7023. That's 601-482-7023. Of course, they sell every type of plumbing part available. They do the small commercial jobs, residential jobs, repairs, remodeling. They do it all. And for you do-it-yourselfers out there, if you get stuck on a project and you need some help, Gary is there for you. He's been training folks for years on how to fix those plumbing problems. And if he doesn't have the part in-house, he can get it pretty quick, like there at Barber and Sons Plumbing. Of course, third generation down there at Barber, and they're located at the corner of 1123 26th Avenue. Go by and see them today, and be sure all of the plumbing in your home is working properly here before all those holiday get-togethers. That's 1123 26th Avenue in Meridian, or call Gary and Gayla and all the staff ahead of time at 601-482-7023. That is Barber and Sons Plumbing. And Roger, it is very key to have that plumbing checked out before Christmas break is coming up. So there you go.
Absolutely. Let's go to Fox News. When we come back, we're on Talk Air Show. Oh, yeah. You'll be doing all right with your Christmas. Oh, yeah. Have a blue Christmas. All right, welcome back, everybody. Good morning's in Meridian. Roger along with Rob this morning.
Good morning.
You just never can have too much Elvis Presley. That's all there is to it.
Mississippi's own.
Amen, brother. All right. Well, I think, we were talking a little bit about, why people are so concerned here at Christmas with government shutdown, the stock market, and all the rest. And just remember, Eddie Murphy gave us a good explanation of that probably 35 years ago.
Christmas time. Everybody uptight.
Would we please now, Randall?
Right, if you want to lose money, go ahead.
What are you trying to say, William?
Okay. All belly prices and all, which means everybody's staying up and they're waiting for rock bottom so they can buy cheap and go long. The people that own the contracts are going back, thinking, hey, we're looking all out there. Christmas is around the corner. I can have no money to buy my son a G.I. Joe.
There you go. About a G.I. Joe, all the good stuff. That's why they're going. That's why everybody's nervous. That's why the stock market's having this problem right here. Same as pork belly. Hey, we're glad you're out there, and we want to just remind you that regardless of what the stock market does or anything like that, you've got a good, solid business here in town to get all your business supplies, and that is Billy Adam Calvert and Southern Business Supply.
Absolutely. And of course, his family down at Southern Business Supply wants to wish yours a very Merry Christmas. And go by and see 6E5 Dale Drive in Meridian. Of course, they're going to open up the doors this morning at 8 o'clock. And you can call ahead at 601-485-2447. Of course, they carry full lines of office furniture and home office furniture. And you can shop online, and all that money stays right here in our backyard. SouthernBusinessSupply.com. Of course, they carry not just office supplies, but janitorial supplies, even those 5-gallon spring water coolers. And they offer next-day delivery on most of those office and janitorial supply items. So furniture delivery and setup is available. They even have an in-house decorator on staff for all those decorating needs. So call them today at 601-485-2447. Buy local. The money stays right here. And say no to the big box stores and say yes to a staff that's been there for going on 40 years down in Meridian. That is Southern Business Supply. There across the Wayman Mule Bridge is Southern Business Supply.
We got to get that plaque up.
That's right. Got to get it up.
All right, there we go. We are underway with NAS Meridian, and of course, we're playing the Marine hymn because we have as our guest retired U.S. Marine Christopher A. Toten, Deputy Airfield Operations Officer and Naval Air Station Meridian. Welcome to our show, Mr. Toten.
Thank you very much.
Glad you're here, sir. I'm glad you heard also on the way in. We were debating, name pronunciation and even gender, all those things. So we got that all settled there. We got that settled here real quick. So welcome to our show. And of course, we did introduce you as retired Marine Corps, and you were in there a couple of years, were you?
Yeah, just 30 short years.
30 short years.
So
Mercy.
I did aircraft rescue firefighting for most of that, but also did airfield services. And basically, I did airfield services for the whole West Coast.
Oh, wow.
4 international runways, 100 air surfaces, and over 500 people. So now I'm just a deputy air for a small airport with 1 outlying field. Perfect retirement.
Perfect retirement job. So let's go back. You said you were over the West Coast, like the whole area. You were in charge of a whole area?
Yes, all of California to include up to the mountains.
Yep.
Up in out to Barstow and out to also NAS, Yuma, Arizona.
So you had people coming to your office to attention, and you were in charge of.
Well, basically, I was out on road trail. I was at the
okay.
MEP, largest unit, one Marine Expeditionary Force. largest unit on the West Coast.
Okay, very good. Well, that's fantastic. You were no stranger to airfield operations when you came to NAS Meridian and retired. So, what brought you to our area? Just to say.
Well, I'm a native Mississippian,
Oh, good.
originally from Kosciuszko area. Then we moved to Florence. I went to Richland High School, graduated in 1989.
Oh,
My wife went to McLaurin High School and graduated in 1989 on the same night. I went to my graduation and went to pick her up at her graduation.
mhm.
We'll be married 36 years.
Oh, that's great.
All right. Then skipped over a lot. Where y'all go after you picked her up?
Well, we had already done our honeymoon.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Because not even 20 days later, I was at Paris Island.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, fantastic. Now, what a great great story. 30 years in the Marines from the Florence area.
Family is the May. So
May.
Scott May is a big builder. And then
Okay.
his son, and then his son-in-law, they're all builders.
Mm-hmm.
And then my family's Totans. They work primarily in the metal trade.
Ah, okay. Very good. Well, there you are. You were in the Marines 30 short years, as you say. And then and how long have you been retired?
Well, I was retired for a year and a month.
Mhm.
And then I started working here. I'll be here 5 years in August.
Okay. Very good. Well, walk us through it. It says Deputy Airfield Operations Officer. It sounds like you're just kind of making sure all the services function properly and the concrete stays intact and cleared off. And all
Yes. So
the draft road and all the rest.
right. So basically, on the military side, our air operations officer is mainly doing all the flying, scheduling, and making sure that the airplanes get out. Of course, we're only one of 2 places to create fire.
Right.
So it's us in Kingsville, Texas. So if either one of us has a big up, then the production of fighter pilots goes down. Of course, with the looming World War III happening,
Mm-hmm.
that might be important. So
Yeah.
basically, we have to make sure that all the runways are up, all the gear is up in case of an incident, so they can catch the airplane. So basically, I manage the airfield manager who actually goes out, him and his assistant checks the runways, and we also have field support personnel to make sure everything is actually working. And then we have electronics maintenance personnel to make sure the lights work. And then you have landing aids, electronic, visual,
Mhm.
all those have to be up, and of course radar.
Okay.
And then on the other side, we have ATC, which we have 2 sections of that. You have the radar operators, and then you have actual ATC.
That's your air traffic controller.
tower
Okay.
and radar. So we have those divisions within the air ops, and basically I'm there to do everything that the military person doesn't need to do. Basically, my boss, he's also a flyer and also an instructor.
Mhm.
And so basically, I'm doing all the extra stuff as far as the budgeting, contracting, and then just day-to-day operations. A lot of stuff comes up, especially when stuff goes down.
Mhm. What's a good example of, say, the last issue you had to deal with? Something you can tell us about.
So,
not
like,
tell us right
we're
now.
having an issue with the building because we're the oldest building. We're building number 1, and it was built in '62. So
Mhm.
you have issues there. Every time it rains, floods, and when it floods, there's some electronics that get messed up. But we're also
I don't know, water and electronics, is that such a bad thing?
yeah. And so we're also
Right.
there's an issue with going from copper line to the new line when it comes to phone. Well, there's one of our backup things that runs off the phone. So then the
Mhm.
backup is down. So then we had to. So a few things that happen that way. So far as electrical, we have up, which is uninterrupted power supply, so we can
Mhm.
actually run the facility, and we have generators. So we have actually 3 different ways to run. Because in a pit, go out there with a radio and on the ground and actually get an aircraft back. So we have redundancies, but some of those redundancies are affected by the age of the building, infrastructure, of course, budgeting. So,
There's any road that suggests you might get a new building?
well, we have a lot of projects. Since I've been here these 4 years, we've probably replaced most electronics out on the runways.
Mhm.
We've probably replaced most of our lighting. We do have an issue with signs and marking, which we're getting that. Of course, we have to wait for region. We're
Yeah.
a region
Right.
spot. So most of that should be replaced hopefully before air show in 2026.
Oh, speaking of which, now
Air
that's what
show.
everybody wants to talk about anyway. Let's just cut to the chase. Rob and I want to ride in it yet.
Okay.
All right, good deal. Oh, you've got that taken care of. All right.
Very good.
Now, after that, I like the way he said that. He just said, okay. He didn't say, yes, you will. He just said,
I mean, we arranged it around the jet. But, you have to do the pre and checks, which I heard you probably know about that. So
I know a little bit about that. Yeah, Rob can handle it. He's got this. He's got this. Anyway, of course, the air show. Now, what will obviously you're kind of in direct management of the real estate there. So, how is that going to change for you by adding the workload of an air show?
So the air show is going to disrupt our training curriculum for probably about a week. And what they can do is they can do an out flyer. Some of those guys have to go and do some stuff on the ship. Basically,
Carrier calls.
Yeah, no matter how good the pilot is, they still have to be able to land on a moving ship.
Sure.
Or they can use our outline field, which is Joe Williams, or they can do the MOA, the military operating area. They can go out and do a big swing. They still do training. It's just the actual facility will be kind of disrupted for about a week.
Okay.
We'll be parking most of the folks on our north runway, and we'll try to bring them in on 45. And basically, it's a free event to the public. Expect the same type of delays you have going to the fair. There's a little bit of a security check. There's no money, but there's a little bit of security check, and you're going to have to basically follow directions. We're going to try to have at least one member or person volunteer for every 5 cars. So no freelancing, follow directions. So basically, no matter how good your air show is, if you have bad parking, entry, and exit experience, that's what we remember. So we're going to try to eliminate that. So just be patient. There's no tickets required. Fill up as many vehicles as you want. Fill them up. Don't try to come just one person. Try to if you know you and your neighbors coming and you got friends coming.
Hey, what well ride
Come in a
together.
van.
Yeah.
So that actually reduces the amount of.
And I'm glad you're saying that because I have, Rob and I both, having been to a couple of these air shows at NAS Meridian, we know that people show up for that. I mean, when you talk about, people saying, wow, you need a whole runway to park cars. Well, yes, you do.
Yes.
I mean,
thousands
and thousands of cars.
I was at ICAST last week, and ICAST is the International Committee on Air Shows. And we had a thing it's called Air Show 101. The very first, half of it is all about parking.
Wow.
And actually, we had to do some math because actually only 10 cars can be parked in an acre. So then if you need 140 cars, that's 10 acres. So what we're going to do in the runways is we're trying to come in on lanes, try to come in at a 45. So that way, all you got to do is leave at 45, no backing up. So come in, out. So basically, they stress that the whole time. It's like, look, no matter how good your show is, better make sure that parking in and out.
And all these little details that people don't think about.
What we'll try to have is some actual static display demo while people are coming in. So you can come in early as soon as we open up the show. You come in early, get statics, that way you can get your spot. And if you don't want to leave in the rush, stay back. More vendor and more demo static that you can walk. You're not going to get a chance to do all of those starts. So stay back and do that. That way, we have, not a big rush to leave. Get people in.
Well, and I'm going to say this. Let's just say Rob tells me one day, says, hey, Roger, I'll pay some gas money if you fly us into the air show in your civilian airplane. Is there opportunities for civilians with aircraft to attend the air show?
So we're not going to do any fly-ins. Civilians, only demonstrators, and only static display. So if you wanted to do your aircraft display, if it's something that's iconic, like a P-45 or something, or 25, maybe. Right now we have the Blue Angels on. We're probably I'm a year out in March, so that's when I'm actually going to get the other demonstrators here.
Yeah.
Who am I going to have statics? Who am I going to have for other demos? So we'll probably have at least 1 or 2 displays. We'll have 1 or 2 follow-on aircraft that kind of go in and out of the air, and then we'll have some static. course, the statics are mainly to hopefully get people in there early
Mhm.
and then let them stay late. Of course, that alleviates
We
parking.
remember times past where you
Mhm.
have some of the fighters have statics, but you also had the tanker that people
Yeah.
can walk through,
Sure,
and
yeah.
C-17s, I think.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we have a large range of availability. We have a bunch of classic aircraft that are now coming on the shows. We can pick a bunch of those. We'll be probably picking those pretty soon, and I'll be getting the phone calls out. There's some pretty good stack displays and some demos that I got some information on last week. I was up at the ICAST.
Mhm.
The thing is that we're trying to get stuff that's relevant. So air shows are a recruiting aspect. So the Navy, the Department of the Navy, actually gives up this money every year as part of their budget. DoD's been funded, and so we're going to get, and then every fiscal year, we have to apply for it. So what I have to do is apply for this money, fiscal year 25, which is October of 2025. I mean, fiscal year 26, which is
Right.
October 25.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, of course, I have to make promises to everyone coming.
Right.
So we're going to try to have a show that's at least an hour and a half, but no longer than
Hmm.
because again, when I went to ICAST, they're like, you come into a lot of aspects of having too long of a show, and then you just have a big backup at the end. And of course, no matter how good that show was, it's all about, hey, it took forever to get in.
Access and egress.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I know that that's happened before. I know there have been such challenges where the show starts and they're still trying to get in. So
So what we're going to have is
good on you for trying to solve the issue.
we're going to have one good way to come in public. We're going to have a couple ways for active duty or retirees or base personnel come in, and then when we leave, we're going to try to have more exit routes than entry routes to eliminate that. But we're kind of still early on who we're going to have here, so we'll have a few more of these obviously beforehand. But at the year mark is when I actually start making those promises and getting those schedules up. The main thing was just to get the Blue Angels on because they're on a 2-year schedule.
Mm.
So now we're on for that last week in March 2026. Now we're dictated by our region to only have an air show every 3 years. So we're trying to pack a lot of stuff in to get a good show, because then we know we're not going to have another show till 3 more years.
Yeah.
So which basically gives me a year off, then I go right back into a 2-year planning cycle.
Of course, in the NAS Meridian's case, it's been almost over 20 years.
Yeah, it'll be 15 years.
Is it 15?
So yeah,
12,
15 years. By the time
It's
we have
another
the
12 like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, something like that. All right, well, very good. Now, you said talk about having the staffing, and do you have enough staffing in uniform to help you, or do you call on volunteers from outside in the community? What does that look like?
So the very first thing you have to do when you actually plan a show is you have to go talk to the recruiters.
Mm.
And you actually have to get the recruiters' numbers and information, and you have to get a promise that they will have either the recruiters there with their demos and displays, and
'Cause
also
that's how we get the funding for the airship.
yes, it's the recruiting aspect. The very first thing you have to do is talk to the recruiters.
Yeah.
Obviously, they'll have their displays there, but also if they have people that are police that are waiting to go to boot camp,
Mhm.
that'll be some of the volunteers we'll use probably for parking.
Good.
We'll have carts to be available for people that don't walk into the demo area.
Hey, we get a cart, Rob.
And then we'll make sure that some of those volunteers, I mean, if they're police, they're kind of volunteers.
Yeah.
So we'll have those, we'll have volunteers ahead of time, and we'll put out a request for volunteers as well beforehand. So,
Yeah, civilian volunteers.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
as long as they can get on base and get bedded.
Right. You have to I don't know what it is. But Penny's got this thing called a background check. It's like, you got to go through a background check. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, really? Okay. All right. I guess so. Anyway, so far I've been able to pass. So far,
Yeah, we'll see how that one goes.
we'll see how it goes in 26. No, we're excited about it. It's something that I have always, me and many people in the Navy League, we have wanted to see this in NAS Meridian again here. And so we're just glad that you and Captain Luke Davis have the courage and will to take all this on. We appreciate that.
Yeah, just I
Kind of
mean,
changes your workflow for a couple of weeks
yeah. Well, I'm the director, so I really have an air show coordinator that we have to still identify.
there. Mm-hmm.
That'll be me and him will be or her will be the main point of contact. But of course, the committee, we're drawing up a committee and we're having a first meeting after the holidays. Of course, the head of that is the captain, and then the XO is the deputy. But we'll have a committee of everyone involved will be involved, and we'll be making those decisions as committees. But to tell the public, just another announcement: it's a free event. Expect delays like you would going into, let's say, the fair every year, but just a little more checks. We're going to get checked by security. So for our manpower, is we'll hopefully try to get an agreement where we'll have another active duty spot. Their security come up to help us, and then our security go down to help them. We may have some more firefighters.
Very good.
As far as air ops personnel, we're pretty good. On the civilian side, active duty, not so much. It's all about the recruiting effort. Again, this we have air shows.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how we. I'll translate that. That's how we justify air shows.
Then you were talking about the shutdown. So right now, the DoD has been funded, but there will be some, federal employees if the government shuts down. So then, if they're not the employees, outside of that, there may be some issues. But for
so when they talk about these shutdowns and all, you as a DoD employee,
DoD is
you get your check, and
then they won't get hurt.
Yeah.
But there may be other government employees that would.
Yeah.
But then for air ops personnel, every one of my employees is furlough accepted, except for my administrative assistant, which I'm trying to fix that too. So we're actually furlough accepted. So even if they get a full shutdown,
you're not
99%
one person. Gotcha.
Good
Okay.
deal.
That tells us a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So of course,
All right.
that means run the runway and actually produce fighter pilots. That's their actual mission.
Right.
Make a note for the air show. That's going to be we're still a good ways out, but make a note. Don't if you're going to be concerned about being there on time, go early. Don't sit there and think, oh, I'm going to rush in and see the show and rush out, because you're not going to. You'll be in a traffic line, and I know that Mr. Chris Toten is going to do everything he can to alleviate that. But when you have thousands and thousands and thousands of vehicles coming into one place, they don't always move fast. So just be aware of that. So, can I have the popsicle concession? I can go up and down and sell popsicles or something.
So for me, I'm basically the demonstrators, anything they need so far as bringing them in and out, and maybe some VIP events before and after. The actual civilian folks that comes out that's wanting to do let's say sell stuff. That's going to be our NWR representative. Handles that part of it.
Very good. All right. Well, there you have it. Anything else we need to know, Mr. Toten, that we have not asked you?
There's going to be some event announcements. It's going to be on the on the social media. Just please follow the instruction. Be mindful that it's going to be a little bit of a security check, and follow the folks that we're going to have there to direct you. And then, of course, we don't want anything brought in except in clear bags. See what's in there. We're going to try to have the least amount of paper out there as possible, because that creates a pod for an object and debris hazard. And if you get stuff while you're there, let's say if you buy stuff or you get stuff for free for one of the demonstrations or something, please put that in a bag and keep it secure.
Don't let it get out there in the airfield.
Exactly.
Because we don't want these government-owned jet engines sucking things up. That's right. That's it. All righty. Well, sir, thank you for what you do. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Absolutely.
That's 30 short years, and thank you for your continued work. And we are excited about the air show coming in March. Is it 28, 29, 20?
Yes, the last weekend in March of 2026.
All right. Very good. There you have it. We want to thank you, sir, for being here, and we'll take a break now for Fox News, and we'll have more of the show and your calls when we come back. It's Mornings in Meridian, 2 best hours. You see why. People like Chris Toten coming on. have to do this second hour? Do we have to do it? Or
Let's
can
go
we...
do the air show.
All
Fly!
right.
I want to fly now.
Okay. All right. Oh, we're back. Welcome back to Mornings in Meridian. It is the second hour of the two best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Roger here along with Rob.
Sorry, I'm a little excited.
It's not hard to get excited about
We
these.
gotta wait till 2026, but it'll be here soon.
That's right. That's right. Well, I tell you, you got to get it on the schedule.
That's right. Yeah, it takes a lot of planning. It's not just something you snap your fingers. Oh, we're gonna have it. So
So we're glad that the Blues are coming.
that's right.
The Blues. Yeah.
I
Mississippi's known for the Blues.
I bet Danger Zone's gonna be played a few times.
You know, that just, this song, I love that Kenny Loggins, I just, when I'm flying myself, sometimes that just goes through my head, Kenny Loggins song. But anyhow, all right, so it's Mornings in Meridian. Let's get back to talking about local and worldwide things that are on your mind, things that are concerning you. Have you done your Christmas shopping?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could surprise somebody with a brand new, or at least a late model, previously owned, certified Toyota from a place called Doc's Toyota.
Fantastic dealership there in Philadelphia on Highway 16 West. And of course, they got all those 25s available now, and even some good used vehicles. Of course, Camrys, Tacomas, 4Runners, Tundras, Land Cruisers. I mean, you name it, they've got it up there at Doc's. And of course, the sales staff would love to see you up there today on Highway 16 West. Of course, fantastic service department as well there in Philly. Of course, they're open today till 5. They'll be open for a few hours this Saturday from 8 until noon. So it's always important to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape, especially, I know you probably got a full schedule of holiday get-togethers coming up, so you definitely want to be sure everything is good under the hood there with your Toyota vehicle, and swing by there and see the folks at Doc's. And you can also shop online. I know it's a convenient thing to do. Go to docstoyota.com and check out all the new and used inventory and all of the great Christmas deals they have there at Doc's Toyota. Their number is 601-600 3786. That is 601-600-3786. Once again, that dealership is on Highway 16 West in Philadelphia. And a lot of dealerships are going to offer you like a little free something here or there, for Christmas. Hey, we're going to do this small little thing, give you a keychain or,
fruit cake.
Fruit cake that you can throw through the wall and probably kill somebody.
A fruit cake.
But at Doc's Toyota, there is no deal like a Doc's deal.
Yeah.
It's Mornings in Meridian. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, caller. Welcome. What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning. Money is on my mind.
Lefty's checking in with us this morning. I'm glad you're up and had at least one cup of coffee and let the dogs out.
Oh yeah, I've already walked them and put one of the cars on charge.
I have a name for people that walk.
I've got a question.
Lefty. Before you had to ask your question, I got a name for people that walk their dogs.
Dog walkers.
Those are canine masters walking their humans.
Ah!
It's about the truth. I saw a lady with a shirt on yesterday with a picture of a cat, and it said, "Nope."
Anyhow, back to your
cat, You might could wish your cat to do something, but they're going to do it when they're good and ready, if they do it at all.
That's exactly right. But you had a question, so we'll let you get back to your question then.
I'm like this one buddy of mine says he gets kind of confused sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't understand why the rate cut by the Fed made the stock market bottom out yesterday. I mean, isn't the rate when something is less monetarily wise, why doesn't the market go up?
Well,
I've never understood that.
My understanding is
would be,
well, let me help you with that. My understanding is it was the announcement by the Fed that there will be fewer cuts this next year that drove the market down.
Oh. So it wasn't yesterday's rate cut, it was future cuts.
That's kind of what it says here in one news story that I have here. It says Jerome Powell said there will be fewer cuts next year. That sent the stock market plummeting. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell revealed the latest move by the Fed yesterday, announcing there would be another 25 basis point reduction in the interest rate. What he said after that is what shook up Wall Street. He said the Fed had scaled back its expectations for cuts in 2025.
Okay.
I don't think Mr. Powell's going to be there after January. Do y'all?
Nah.
Well, I don't know how much power does the president have over that sort of thing.
Well, if you can pardon your son for not paying $1 million worth of taxes, I think you've got ultimate power.
Yeah, there's also a report out this morning as well from CBS.
No one's above the law.
Yeah, there's a report out this morning from CBS that says the Office of Management and Budget has directed federal agencies starting today to prepare government shutdown procedures, informing their staff. So it seems like this could really happen tomorrow with the government shutdown.
Well,
so,
if you don't have it to spend, you can't spend it.
Yeah.
And that's all they seem to be able to do is spend, spend, spend.
Well, you don't understand the federal government. You said if they don't have it, you can't spend it.
They ain't got it to begin with.
That was pretty funny there, Lefty. Pretty funny joke there, fella. If you don't have it,
Original.
if you don't have it, you can't spend it. Where have you been?
They probably look at you like Scooby-Doo up in Congress.
Yeah. But anyhow,
there's a lot of fat trimming needs to be done. I know it hurts, but every now and then it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Merry Christmas.
And I think the fat can be cut in jobs that are really, really, really just kind of placed there and not necessary, or the workload can be spread among others. I don't want to see the cuts. I don't want to see the cuts come in where they affect jobs of people here who are building things like avionics and airplanes and things like that.
Well, it just seems to. I mean, when we're almost $40 trillion in debt, and they're still spend. I'm like, I don't think that would work with the credit card companies.
I bet one of the biggest places you save money is foreign aid.
Sure. That's for sure. That's a good start.
Yeah.
It'll never happen. It'll never happen. None of this stuff will ever happen. We may be given the illusion that it's going to come to pass, but I doubt it will. I doubt it anyway.
Well, there you have it.
Good.
All right. Appreciate you checking.
6 foot above ground and drinking cup number 2.
Good for you. Go for it. All right. Grab yourself one of those stale Walmart cookies and off you go.
And I like fruitcake. I just wish I could eat it. I'm a diabetic and I can't eat it no more.
Do you buy a lot of these sugar-free?
Honey too.
Do you buy a lot of these sugar-free type of things that they're sweet but they're artificial sweeteners?
Most of them suck.
Yeah, I was wondering how that worked for you.
Yeah, they're not very good. But some of them are. But I think the best one out there is Diet Dr. Pepper. They've got it down pat.
Oh, good. Is that okay? I need to give that a try because I am a Dr. Pepper fan.
Yeah, and I tell you that.
But I'm a sugar fan too.
Very much like the leaded.
Yeah. Okay. Good deal. Well, there we have it.
Have a good one. I'm listening in, looking for. I don't know where my doggies are at, but they're somewhere in the city.
All right. Good deal. All right. Thank you, sir. All right. It's Mornings in Meridian. You too can be part of the show.
I mean, that's just scary looking at that clock right there. Look at that.
There you go. Showing the U.S. national debt clock.
National debt clock at 36.2 trillion, and it just keeps on ticking.
Well, now you got to remember, most of our debt is held by China. And if we go to war with China, we'll pay them back with.
Well, you're on the hook for 107,000 of that debt.
Oh well, listen, they got. Hey,
well,
listen,
excuse me. That's per citizen. They have it listed per citizen and per taxpayer. Per taxpayer is 271,000 plus.
Oh, okay. Well, they took a big chunk of that yesterday, or not yesterday, but last year. Last year, when I wrote a check, they got a big good chunk of that.
But real quick here, the U.S. federal debt to the GDP ratio back in 1960 was 52.04%. Today, Try 123.41%.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Uh-oh. Well, like I said, as long as we can get out of paying China, we're going to be in good shape. Let's take a phone call, 601-485-9191. Good morning.
MAGA morning, true American patriots. MAGA, MAGA, MAGA.
Now, listen.
Well,
listen,
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that song, but you're going to mess me up next time that song comes up on the church bulletin.
Singing in church a different way.
You are going to mess me up.
You're going to go MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. They'll burn you at the stake.
Congregation's going to look at us. Get him off of that stage.
Excommunication now.
Oh, well.
Then again, they might embrace it. I don't know.
Absolutely correct. I mean, $36 trillion, folks, and change. It'll never be paid off. And yet they want to kick the can down the road a little further. It's got to stop at some point, and it might as well be now. Cut out the world welfare.
I'm glad you called this morning because I saw this report out this morning. I thought specifically of you. Senator Rand Paul has suggested electing Elon Musk as House Speaker to disrupt the swamp. How about that?
That would do it now.
That would definitely do it. Musk as Speaker.
But we've got to do something to rein this in.
Yeah.
We can't win friends, influence people around the world by spending taxpayer dollars that need to be spent here.
Yeah.
And we need to spend it wisely here. Be good stewards. That's not the government's money. That's not the president's money and the Congress's money. That is the taxpayer citizens' money.
Mm-hmm.
And it needs to be spent in America on securing this border, doing something about the crime, deporting the illegal alien criminal invaders, and building the infrastructure back. We need to cut back some of these social action programs. Everything is expected. I'm entitled to everything I want, but I don't want to work for it now. I want somebody else to work for it and to hand it to me because I'm special. I'm entitled. No, you're not. No, you're not. Everybody needs to pull on the rope. This country was a lot stronger when we didn't have all this stuff. People didn't have a choice. People didn't have a safety net. People had to get out and get it every day. But on a lighter note, I do have a praise report for one of your sponsors.
All right.
We love to hear that.
Well, I went to Battery One Source yesterday because I am not a dumb bunny. And I needed to ask a question about a battery. And I also needed the phone doctor. And the phone doctor was on call. So he went through my phone and assured me that it was just old like I was and it was slow. And I said, okay, that's good. So we'll be slow together. But no, I saw John come in. I pointed to him and I said, don't you be a dumb bunny.
Look at that.
Just broke out laughing.
I love it.
But if you want good advice about your battery, any kind of battery, or your phone, go to Battery One Source. These people are the experts, man. They got the technicians down there. They got the equipment to check everything. They're not going to upsell you something you don't need. They're going to take care of you just like your family. And they do you proud every time.
Sound like a Crisco commercial there.
Yes, they do you proud every time. And you'll be glad you went down there. Nobody was ever sorry they went or bought the best. Nobody was ever sorry they got sound advice. They're always crying in their beer because they went and tried to lowball it, or they went to somebody that didn't know as much about it as they did.
Yeah.
And they're back to square one. But these people, this is their specialty. And like I said, the weather's going to get cold here. They don't call it cold cranking amps for nothing.
There you go.
And used to be, back in the old times, your battery lets you know it's fixing to die. You know. But now, if it won't make a firing voltage on the computer, it won't even click, man. You're there for the duration, and it's going to be on something important. You got to get to work. Even worse yet, you got to go hunting or something critical, you know, like meet your best married girlfriend or something. And your battery will yield up the ghost, and you will be in a fit of rage because you were a dumb bunny. Do not be a dumb bunny. Go get it checked today.
That's right.
They'll be glad to see you down there, and they will help you out. And John and them are great people to deal with, man. I wouldn't go anywhere else.
Amen.
But everybody, this government shutdown, everybody's in fear of this like the Grim Reaper, man. Let it happen. Let's see what happens. It's like the Y2K thing. Everybody was thinking the end of time was here. What can you do? You've got to do something other than what you have been doing for the last 50 years. Spend, tax, and spend. That's the only Democrat thing in the playbook. Tax and spend. We're gonna tax people till they can't tote the load, and we're gonna give it to people that don't even want to do anything for this country, much less themselves. And so we're rewarding bad behavior. And Musk is going in there with a battle axe to trim the fat. No more pork. We're going for the lean. If that ain't mission essential, guess what? You're going to have to do it yourself. Roger that.
If it's not mission essential, you'll have to do it yourself.
You'll like this tweet like 2 minutes ago from the great one, Mark Levin, which will be on WALT very soon as a part of our lineup.
I think it's great that Mark Levin's going to be on our station.
Hey, Republicans, the sky will not fall if there's a government shutdown.
Right.
The government was shut down 6 times during Ronald Reagan's presidency, over 20 times since 1974, yet recent presidents have avoided like the plague. The nation survived. Reagan won massive landslides, and in the end, the public didn't give a damn, despite all the media Democrat Party hype at the time. The bureaucrats wound up getting their money. Social Security checks and Medicare payments continue without a hitch. So did veterans benefits. The active military was unaffected. That is, truly essential government services were funded because they are specifically excluded from government shutdowns. Indeed, taxes kept rolling into the government treasury that never shuts down. There's plenty of revenue for basic government operations, but a shutdown does draw a line on what they call discretionary spending. That's from the great one, Mark Levin, this morning. So how about that? 6 times during Reagan's presidency, the government shut down.
Well, now see, there you go again.
Ronnie Reagan.
That's right.
20 times since 74.
Yep. Very good.
So there you go. So that's going to be the I wouldn't say, is it fear mongering that the media will do today, even Fox, about, yeah, there we go.
All right, we've got a winner. Tell him what he's won.
Yeah.
You've won a trip down to Highway 39 to see Jeffrey Wilson at State Farm Insurance.
I'll take that prize.
There you go.
There you go. Have a cup of coffee with Jeffrey today and talk about those insurance options. Of course, located at 2401 Highway 39 North. Of course, call him ahead at 601-483-8253. And relationships. You know, it's all about relationships. You need to know your agent, and Jeffrey Wilson is a great agent to get in touch with and build that relationship with, because he's got a lot of relationships with a lot of folks here in the area. He works with the Downtown Optimist Club, the East Mississippi Board of Realtors. I mean, you name it, he's involved in it. Fellowship of Christian Athletes. The list just goes on. And Jeffrey is embedded in our community, and he wants to save you some money on your insurance bill, because I know that bill just keeps going up, going up, going up. But when you combine your home and auto insurance with State Farm, you're going to save on average, and this is average, folks, $889, and it might be even more than that. So go by and see Jeffrey today to get your insurance plan fixed up for the holiday season. That's at 2401 Highway 39 North, or call ahead at 601-483-8253. Like a good neighbor, Jeffrey Wilson, State Farm.
Amen. We'll take a break. Come back. It's Fox News next, followed by Your Money Now and a couple of more of our sponsors. And then we'll come back and take more of your calls. 601-485-9191.
No, just my allergies. Happy holidays, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to Mornings in Meridian. If you're not in the spirit before we played that, you've got to be now. How about that?
5
Flannel shirts, 4 bow tires. Is it bow tires?
Big mud tires.
Big mud tires. 4 big mud tires, 3 shotgun shells, and yeah. Well, it's hard to do that fast, isn't it? You were doing it great.
I was doing it fast.
You were on it. You were on it, man.
Well, when you program Christmas music all the time, you listen to it all the time. You know it all the time.
Speaking of which,
yes,
I tune in to our Christmas station yesterday,
yeah.
just for a short while.
Yeah.
And what do I hear? The Hanukkah song.
Hey, ho, Hanukkah, time for Hanukkah.
Yeah, I'm thinking, really? Okay. Oh, we're having fun here, folks, and as well we should. It's Mornings in Meridian. Caller on the line. Let's go there now. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Well, I hate to be the one who changes the mood, but
I
know about those 5 possums in a Chinaberry tree, but that's. Did you see where President Biden had granted clemency to the doctor down around Macomb Summit, Mississippi?
The doctor.
Yeah, Dr. Mira Sagdiva. She had been giving half doses of chemo to patients and using needles over and over, and was convicted, and he's granted her clemency now.
Well, I knew there was a bunch of people that got clemency, but I didn't know that she was one of them.
She was, and I just wondered how much Biden got paid for this one.
How much to get paid for some of them or all of them?
Yeah, but this one is just, to me, is horrendous. This doctor violated her oath. She violated laws. She was convicted, and now she's going to be set free.
But has she lost her? I'm assuming she's lost her license to practice medicine.
Well, it's a travesty if she hasn't.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Because she did harm. I mean, and she took an oath not to do harm.
Exactly.
And by cutting chemo treatments in half and all, she shortened the life of these people. And she probably infected some by use of, more than once, the medical instruments, needles, syringes, things like that.
Have you noticed how the media is not really focusing in on a lot of these folks, but when Trump pardons the January 6 folks who have been in, they're just gonna, their arms are gonna go up in there. Oh my God! It's just gonna be. I mean, it's just.
Well, that's when somebody needs to take a page in the USA Today or somebody on some sort of web, social media needs to put side by side the names and the offenses, the ones that Biden has pardoned and the ones that Trump pardoned.
That's fair enough.
I totally agree. I heard a great thing yesterday. 2 things. Number one, I don't think the president ought to be granted this power. I really don't. Number 2, I think that the minute Trump was elected, he should have been able to take office. I mean, this time lapse between the election and the inauguration is a terrible time, and it was there for a purpose at one time, but it's not needed anymore, and there's too much goes on during that time gap, and that shouldn't go on.
Well, and Jimmy, you watch it too. Mark my word, between now and probably maybe next Thursday or Friday, there's going to be more pardons that are going to happen from Biden, and it's going to get lost in the news because of the Christmas holidays.
Well, it's
and not the government shutdown.
And the government shutdown too, yeah.
Yeah, and the mainstream media is not going to pick up on it because they don't want to.
Nope.
But
I heard someone stop calling them the mainstream media now because they're no longer mainstream.
No.
That's exactly right.
I like that.
That's exactly right.
They're a little bit more peripheral now.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Well, I just if I don't get another chance to talk to you guys before next Wednesday, I want to wish you
where are you going?
Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you. Merry Christmas to you. But where are you going?
Bogaloo, Bogachill, and Bogahoma.
Nice.
Well, they got cell coverage down there, believe it or not.
Well, I might just get the opportunity to call in, but I didn't want to miss out.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do it,
On Christmas
maybe
Eve.
not in a timely manner, but
Yeah.
take the opportunity so I wouldn't miss it.
On Christmas Eve, we like for listeners to request their specific Christmas songs,
Yeah,
because
play
if we
'em.
haven't played them, we like to
Play them that day, yeah.
part or some of them that day.
Well, that's good. I'm sure you'll get a lot of requests.
What's your favorite Christmas song, Jay Slade?
I don't really have a favorite. I've got a number of King is Born by Truth, Feliz Navidad by Jose Feliciano.
Yeah. I figured with your name it'd be Sleigh Bells. I don't know.
Well, that's possible, and of course, that Christmas Day has a special meaning to me.
Yeah.
That's my, everywhere I've ever worked, they've given me my birthday off.
I noticed that, I've noticed there's maybe some similarity between you and our Christ.
Very little. The only thing is the blood. That's what I'm grateful
Come
for.
on, amen. That's the reason for the season. 59191. Big thank you. Well, let me just put it. I'm going to introduce our next sponsor this way, Rob.
Okay.
I'm going to set it up this way. You can go down somewhere and hope you find the right gift for your loved one for Christmas. And cross your fingers,
your toes,
and hope they're
else.
going to like it. Or
Yeah.
you can guarantee it 100% if you go down to LaBeche Jewelers, because if you don't find the piece of jewelry that you would like for that someone, you can at least give a gift card to LaBeche Jewelers, and I guarantee you that will be appreciated by that special someone.
Boy, well, how special is LaBeche Jewelers? Of course, they're located there at 2212 8th Street in Meridian between 22nd and 23rd Avenue. And they are going to be open on Christmas Eve if you have to get something last minute. Boy, just been in business for so many years down there at LaBeche Jewelers. And, of course, they've got you guys been talking about the LaBeche watches, and they have those available down there. And, of course, you can get the batteries changed out of those right there at LaBeche Jewelers. And they provide superior value in terms of merchandise quality, price, selection, satisfaction. Of course, jewelry repair. If you've got maybe something coming up after the new year, bridal, any kind of diamonds, they have it down there. And, of course, they just got a fantastic staff as well. And once again, you see the common theme we always talk about: shopping local, and you're shopping with good local folks down there at LaBeche Jewelers. 601-693-6071. That's 601-693-6071. They will be closed on Christmas Day, and then on the 26th and 27th, they will reopen the following week, Monday and Tuesday, before being closed there on New Year's Day. So Christmas Eve, you are waiting to that last second, go by and see the folks at LaBeche Jewelers, and they'll get you something special for your significant other, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it might be. They can get you. Or, hey, you know what? Engagements.
Good day.
Christmas is always a
Christmas engagement.
Yeah. It's always a special time. So go by and pick out something special for that soon-to-be love. Yes.
In the air. Heritage of Trust since 1953. And Rob said it, but it went over fast. Just want you to know that they will close on Christmas, which is Wednesday. They'll be closed Thursday and Friday, but they'll open up Monday and Tuesday and then closed again on New Year's. And by the way, that LaBeche watch, yes, you mentioned it. You do get free battery replacement for the life of the watch.
That's sweet.
With LaBeche watches.
Nice.
The LaBeche brand. It's got the name LaBeche right there on the face.
Bing, bang, boom.
I got one. I like it. If the battery goes out, they just put another in. No problem. All right. It's Mornings in Meridian, 601-485-9191. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Good morning. I'm thinking that maybe at the beginning of the year, we can focus on the problem of rape in our town among, toward, all females, but especially underage girls. As a matter of fact,
Merry Christmas to you, Ruth.
Yes, Ivanka Trump has advocated the death penalty for people who have been accused and it's proven that they have raped underage girls. And I'm thinking that there is a problem here. Dr. Seidel over there at MSU has said so. So maybe we can, after the Christmas, when we come back in January, maybe we can focus on it and then put the people to help her identify these people, and the people who are always preaching about crime and we've got to do something about the crime, to focus on that kind of crime also. I'm hoping that we will have the what should I say, the bravery to do doing the right thing is what it is. And I hope, I'm sorry to bring it up, but then when people are calling in to talk about the crime and the this and this, let's really talk about the crime.
Yeah,
and let's talk about the crime that's committed toward innocent people who have no control over what happens to them. I mean, these other people who are killing each other and carrying on, they are adults. Let's talk about what we're going to do about these children. That's what we need to be talking about. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to do something or get started on this project when we come back in January. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Mornings in Meridian. You too can be part of the show. The 601-485-9191. Put you right here with us. And good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Merry Christmas.
Oh.
Merry Christmas to the wolf.
Merry Christmas. Well,
I want you to get yourself something.
I have to be.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I said,
You
I
go
just
first. You
what
go first.
I want you to get you something real nice
nice.
there, Mr. Gray. Well, something real nice. Go get yourself something nice.
Y'all so sweet. Y'all so sweet. I got me something real nice. Didn't come it, but the quesadilla was out at Weidman's when I ordered it this week.
Oh no!
So I didn't get to taste it, but I had to settle for the fried pork loin, the Creole cabbage, the cheese grits, and the cornbread.
Oof! Sounds like you survived. Okay.
Oh yeah, dude. If you ever have to settle on your second or third choice at Weidman's, you don't go wrong.
No, that's right.
First world problems.
The quesadilla's out. Are you serious? Oh man.
Yeah, well, so I want to agree with Ruth, and I want to point out something to Ruth on her last call. The agree with Ruth is yes, that should never happen.
Agreed.
To disagree with Ruth, or not so much to disagree, but to point out, Ruth, when we say crime, we mean all crime. And if a crime happens, it's generally always to somebody innocent that didn't want it to happen.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So
God bless you, son.
Just pointing that out. I agree with her. That should never ever happen. And when we're talking about addressing crime, she needs to realize we're talking about addressing that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just some crime that she thinks that. Anyway.
Yeah.
On the next note, y'all be sure and get your cheese straws.
Okay. All right. Get them because.
Straws. Dude, Carolyn Burchett, y'all know who I'm talking about? Carolyn's cheese straws, made right here in Meridian, Mississippi.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Have you had them, Charles?
Charles isn't here.
First of all,
Charles there?
No, Charles.
No, he's not
Okay,
here.
Rob, have you had them, Rob?
Yes, sir.
All right, Roger, have you had them? Sounds like you're not real sure.
Well, I know I've had the Mississippi cheese straws. I've had those.
Yeah, no. Carolyn's cheese straws.
All right.
Yeah, if you'd had them, it would literally go to the top of your Christmas cheese straw.
Well, now you know. Now you know what to get me. Now you know what to get me and bring to the studio here. Something.
Yeah, because there was actually a box of them up here yesterday.
Was there really?
Yeah. I was going to get you the same thing you got me last year.
I hear you. Loud and clear. Yes, loud and clear. Message received.
Anyway, I JK.
I know. You JK. I know it. I'm so glad we're able to talk into abbreviations now. We don't have to actually use words. We can just, Hey, TY for calling, man. I tell you.
Yeah, you're more than W. Anyway,
you know, there are many times when other people call in about funny, stupid stuff that they think's funny and stupid and having fun. And I may be doing that to somebody else who really doesn't think any of this is very funny. So at that point, I'm going to let somebody else have the last 4 minutes. Y'all have a great day.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
Wow.
Evokes the spirit of the mayor of Sucalena.
Like it.
Oh,
Yeah.
mercy. We got to get a little break in here. We'll come right back, and we got a little bit more than 4 minutes, but not much.
Not much.
We'll be right
Or
back.
if you can burp the entire chorus of Jingle Bells.
You're not thinking about the swimming pool. You're thinking about the person on the diving board.
I can't swim, Clark.
I know that, Eddie. Mornings in Meridian. We're glad you're out there tuned in, and a big thank you to Purvis Business, Purvis Business Machines, because sometimes it just might very well that you have to kind of put the rest of the Christmas shopping on hold and go get a good deal on a copier or printer for your business, whether you're operating out of your home or office.
Beautiful showroom. You always brag about the showroom.
I told him about the potato salad. I told him on the. He heard me
Jared
talking
probably
about.
looked at you like, what?
Told him I'm gonna plop some potato salad right there on the floor and scoop it off there and just eat it right there off the floor. Yeah, it's a nice place.
Yeah, Christmas cookies left over on the floor. There you go. Purvis Business Machines, of course, located. That beautiful showroom is located at 4505 Highway 39 North in Meridian. And of course, online at gopurvis.com. And folks, lease return color copiers, we've been talking about it for years. Save up to 85%. 85% savings down at Purvis.
On some nice, previously used, but they're ready to go. These color printers,
absolutely,
or black and white printers.
Yeah, sell, service, rent, lease, quality, name brand office equipment.
Lease return. That's the word.
Yeah, they do it all. Copy, print, fax, the all-in-one devices, and of course they have other items down there as well. And the big name brands that you trust in your office or home office or church at Toshiba, CopyStar, Kia, Sarah, Hewlett Packard, you name them, they have them down there at Purvis Business Machines. Great family-owned business since 1979, and of course their slogan they live by it. Their whole staff does. service, not excuses. And of course, big shout out to our buddy Don Lucas down there as well, who does an amazing job there on the staff. 601-693-COPY. That is 601-693-COPY. And once again, that showroom, Potato Salad Showroom, is 4505 Highway 39 North.
Eat off the floor.
GoPurvis.com.
I love it.
Hello.
Good folks. Well, I know we have to wait till 26 for the air show, but next year, the Blondie is going to be releasing another album.
Are you serious, Clark?
Debbie Harry and the producer in the studio, they're going to produce an album called Pollinator.
Huh.
Yeah, it's I guess they're going to it came out in 2017, but I guess they're going to redo it or something like that. So kind of that's what I'm hearing anyway.
A lot of these artists that were around back then are releasing these new albums.
I wonder if she still wants me to call her. You know, she said back in the early 80s for me to call her.
That restraining order still valid today?
I don't know.
Just asking.
And by the way, if you're traveling on the holidays, TSA doesn't mind you having a cane. Sometimes they realize you have to have that.
Oh boy.
But don't have one that has a sword inside it.
Whoops.
That's right. An elderly woman's cane sword is one of the many no-nos that they're seeing in the pre-holiday Christmas travel. So that was confiscated at the Denver International Airport. It's a sword that was hidden inside a cane. So just kind of keep that in mind.
Don't want to mess with her.
That's right.
Good Lord.
How do you disarm Granny? Huh?
Stay away from Granny.
Very carefully.
Try the Jello mold.
She wrapped up her cat. We'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day. God bless and
Bye, local.
yes.